Good day, everybody. This is Doug, the Modeling Hermit, and I'm here with a different project than what I usually work on. I have another dollhouse, and this one is the Victorian Painted Lady in 1/12 scale, so 1 inch to 1 foot, and it's from Real Good Toys. And I'll show you some of the things that I've been doing on it, but first I got to explain that don't look at the background around here right now, because just as I got started on this and got all kinds of stuff spread out, I had a couple people that are closing out their businesses, and they thought that I could use a lot of stuff. So good people sent me whole bunches of stuff. So I've got a disaster that I haven't figured out yet. So anyway, we will get to the dollhouse. We're going to start out with foundation. Okay? And I mean, when we're talking foundation, we're talking foundation. My foundation here goes to the floor. It is a table. I think that this came from like someplace like Walmart. And then on that, I have a wooden base. I think that's like 3/8 inch, maybe 1/2 inch plywood base, and cut to fit what my needs are. And I build on that. And the reason I do that is so that way I don't have to keep hauling around a dollhouse. Because when you pick up the box to start with from Hobby Lobby or wherever you get it, these came from Hobby Lobby, you know that box is heavy. Now you put that into when you got it shaped like that, and that sucker is a monster, and it's easy to throw things out of kilter. So I built it on the base where it's going to live. And that way, once I get everything squared up, I don't have to worry about getting it out of square. So that's my suggestion right to start with to everybody, is get these things, build it on your permanent base. So that base stays with the dollhouse. All right, colors. You notice on theirs that is kind of a red color with some green and yellow trim. Well, I have done mine in yellow, and then it's going to have brown trim, and then with that little yellow squares and such red, that's going to be green on this one. If I use those things, who knows what, you never know what things are going to come up with. Now, you notice that I've got this thing built, but I don't have windows or anything in it. The doors are just set there for placeholders right now, but I don't have the windows built in it. The reason that I do that is I like to get my flooring and such in first, flooring and ceiling especially, in first, and that way I can get down into, let me find something, I can get down into these places here to work with my flooring and get those in without having to fight clear across the length of the dollhouse to do it. So that's why you see that I do these things differently than what it says in the kit. I actually kind of work one room, actually, I was going to say one floor, but really one room at a time. This room, you'll notice too, that there is a little bench in there. That's just sitting there right now. I don't have that glued in. Pardon me. So anyway, we're going to go to the back of the house now. And you notice we do have a room set up here. Now, I like to decide what my rooms are going to be to start with. And this second floor here is actually the recreational room, where we're talking 1800s here, so the lady does her sewing and so on and so forth, and the gentleman has his whatever hobbies he does. And so anyway, that's going to be done on that floor there, and that's why we have a mural in there. Is that's kind of the happy little room. So I think that's a hunt or something like that. So anyway, we have the mural, and then we have the wallpaper is in on this other side. And then, where's my pointer? I'll use this for a pointer. Then, if you notice on the bench over there, that I have wallpaper that matches this wallpaper for the front of the bench. At the top, when I put in the top section there, I'm going to follow this crown around on it too. So this crown will go around to the upper section there. So that ties that all in together. Now, doors, I bought different doors for this one. These are the doors for it. And they'll go in like that. These are the interior doors. They go in like that. And now we get to the meat of it. We have a hole that I cut in the floor. Okay, at first we had just one for the stairwell to come up there. And sorry about bouncing around, but I was trying to reach for stuff. So we had just a hole across here for the stairwell. I have chosen to cut out a big hole going across here, and that's why I have not cut out this hole here for the door, is because I'm thought about putting a window in there, which means I'll cut this out farther over here to give the bigger opening. I'll explain that in a minute. But anyway, that's why I haven't cut out that yet there. I bought a spiral staircase, and I beautiful work on this. So anyway, I bought a spiral staircase that's going to come up from the first floor to the second floor. And it has all the goodies that you can even think of. I mean, everything's there for it, except for they did not include instructions. But I'll figure that out. I mean, I've been modeling since 1959. If I can't figure out how to put a little spiral staircase together, I've got problems. So anyway, so the reason for this cutting this open and doing this way is I want this to be impressive. This is what I call the ego trip house. Okay, this is for the upper people in the community, you know, the ones that really want to impress with their money and stuff. So anyway, like I said, we cut this out here. I've even got some lines here to cut it out just a little bit farther. That way, when people come in from the first floor and they look up, you know, they're impressed with this stairwell. And of course, we're going to have they're going to be impressed with the opening, and then they have this little railing that goes up around it. That's real fancy. And then for the second floor to the third floor, let's throw some stuff on the floor. Second floor for third floor, if I can get that to stay, we have a railing there that matches the other railing. And then there's stairs that are going to go up to that. And let me set you like this for a second while I reach down and get a hold of this thing that I threw on the floor. There you go. Let me give you a little close-up view there. So anyway, yeah, so these stairs, I'm using the kit stairs. There's the ones that come with the kit. And they're going to go up something like that there, if I can get them in there. And they're going to sit something like that. And you can see how that's going to be impressive, going from second floor to third floor and looking up from the first floor up to that. And then probably have a chandelier that'll come down from the second floor, clear down to the first floor opening. So anyway, that's all to be, you know, this whole thing on this side is all to be impressive. And so we have a little opening parlor there and a little kind of a family gathering room down there for entertaining visitors and such. As we go through the doorways, on the first floor we're going to have the kitchen. I was going to do a bathroom down there, but I decided I'm going to do a great big kitchen, a nice one. And I didn't want to put the bathroom on the third floor, but I think I'm going to anyway. So anyway, you come up and then we got the master bedroom on the second floor above the kitchen. And then on the third floor, that's going to be like maybe a couple children's bedrooms there on the third floor. So that's my plans on that at this point. And I should mention wiring. I'd use Circuit Concepts tape wiring. You can see I've got some in there. I would have had this thing all wired up before I started wallpaper and stuff, and before now anyway, at least. But if you look at that, I forgot to order enough wallpaper, enough tape wire for this thing. So I've got enough to work on, you know, the areas that I've got. I've got some more ordered. But yeah, make sure you get everything you need beforehand, and make sure, especially electrical wiring, think about what you're going to process as you're going through things. So electrical wiring is going to be one of the first things that you're going to encounter when you get these things built. And make sure that you have plenty of that to do this. And of course, naturally, make sure you know where everything's going to go what fixtures you're going to want, where they're going to go out, and make a schematic. Okay, you can see that I've got lines drawn on here. But once I get that wallpaper on, those lines don't mean much. So you got to make sure that you have the schematic that shows exactly where everything's at and make sure it's all measured out. I use just the edge of a ruler when I put this in. So my tape wire down on this second level is right along the edges of that. Let me turn that around. So you can see. Is right on the top edge of that is my center line on my tape wire. So things like that to think about. And like I said, now keep watching on this because I've already strayed way away from the original kit. So I'm going to be showing you how to do things, a lot of fun things that you're not going to see in that kit. But remember too that I built several of these doll houses already. This is probably, I don't know, maybe 10th that I built, something like that. And then I work in 1/25th scale too. And I've built a lot of buildings in 1/25th scale for my dioramas and such. So remember too that this is not a first time. Don't try and do this on your first kit. But when you've built several, don't be afraid to take off and have some fun. Get a little ego going in there, something, let's just have some fun with these kits. So with that, I can't think of a whole lot else that I would need to mention. Let me see. Oh, okay. For the base on the can't think of the name, foundation on that. Let me walk over here, see if I can find this and get it out without making a huge mess. Okay, so see all that stuff on the floor? Yeah, sorry about that. So anyway, we're back. And this is what I use. This is a brickwork that I get. And of course it doesn't say on the back. Let's see, it's World and Model Ornaments Reef Manufactured. Anyway, this is going to be what I use for my foundation. It's just this brick material. And that's really nice stuff to work with. So, without giving you trips all over my house here of all the debris, let's take one more look across here. And, so the front, I also have plans that the entryway is going to get added onto. It's going to come out a little bit farther, and then it's going to have steps. There we go. It's going to be added out farther. Then it's going to have steps that come up to it from either side, and then out in front will be a planter. So those are my plans for that. So like I say, I love changing things on these things. And those are going to be some big changes that are going to go on. And we haven't even hit the third floor yet. We don't know what's going to happen up there. But so far, that's where we're at on this kit. So let's see. I can't think of anything else that I need to remind you of. That's about it. So this is Doug, the Modeling Hermit, and I'm off the air and I'm gone.